Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Writing with me, Mrs. Lias. Today's lesson is Lesson 6. Let's get started. This is Jonathan London. By now, you should know who he is. Do you remember? Yes, he is the author of Froggy books. You have read Froggy Gets Dressed, Froggy Plays Soccer, and Froggy Goes to Grandma's with me. Did you get a chance to go to Blackboard 24/7 to hear some more of his stories? If you haven't, go to Blackboard 24/7 under the Writing tab on the first grade site, and then look in the folder, and there are more Froggy books. We will not read a Froggy book today. In our last lesson, we were writing about the middle of our story. One of the events in the middle of our story was about our character named Banana. He decided to make cookies as an excuse to go meet the neighbors, but before he could go and see the neighbors, he burned all the cookies in the oven. And poor Bananas, he wanted an excuse to go meet the neighbors, but because the cookies were burnt, he couldn't. So he ran away to think of another idea. So far in our story, we have planned the beginning of the story, and we wrote about the beginning of the story. In the beginning, Banana's at home. He's looking out the window and he's seeing that new neighbors are moving in, but he's a little scared to meet them. In yesterday's lesson, we wrote about the first event in the middle of our story. We wrote about Bananas. He was going to try to make cookies for his new neighbors, but he burns them, so he still didn't get a chance to go and meet the neighbors. So today, we're going to start on the second event in the middle of our story. And this event is that Banana is going to throw the ball over the fence, but no one is at home but their mean dog named Bruno. So we're going to work on this part of the story today. Are you ready? Let's get started. So in my story plan, I said that Bananas was going to throw the ball over the fence. But as I started to think, I thought, I want to change it to kicking instead of throwing. So if you have something on your story plan that you've written and you want to change an action instead of kicking to throw or throwing to kick, you can. Little changes like that happens when you're a writer. So listen to what I have written so far. Bananas was kicking his soccer ball in the backyard. He was thinking about the burnt cookies. Bananas pulled back his right foot and zoom! The soccer ball went over his neighbor's fence. Oops, said Bananas. Then Banana smiled. Hey, this may be my chance to meet the neighbors. Banana rushed to the neighbor's house. He rang the doorbell and... So I left a little suspense there. I had more space to write, but I left a little suspense. That way the reader would want to turn the page to find out what happens. This is another way that you can hook a reader. So he's ringing the doorbell, and let's find out what happens. No one was home. Bananas rang the doorbell many times, but it was no use. Oh no, cried Bananas. No one is home and I need my ball for soccer practice. Banana had an idea. He decided to climb over the neighbor's fence to get his ball. Bananas ran back to his yard and began to flip off the fence. When he landed, Banana started to do a little dance. He began walking over to his ball when he heard a low-sounding growl. When Banana turned around, he saw a big brown dog with large teeth and a big name tag that read Bruno staring at him. He knew he could not take another step towards his ball. So Bananas turned around slowly and... All right, now boys and girls, in this part of the story, I made sure that I showed you what was happening. I could have just said that he jumped over the fence and then the dog started growling. But I wanted you to see what was happening. Not only did he jump over the fence, but he was happy, and so he started to dance. And then at first, the growl was low. And then when he turned around, I'm adding suspense in your story. So I'm not just saying, oh, he jumped over the fence, went and got the ball, and the dog chased him. That would be easy to say. But to add details into my story, I wanted to show you the story. So if you close your eyes and hear this story, you can see what's happening. So I'm showing you instead of telling you. Ran as fast as he could. Zoom! Banana screamed. Wah! He jumped over the fence. Swoosh! And was safe in his yard once again. Banana felt around for his tail. Ooh, I'm glad I did not lose it, Banana thought. Bananas, his mother called. Are you ready for soccer practice? No, Mom, not today, he yelled. So, as you can see, I am really using my story plan. I planned out the beginning of the story, and I wrote the beginning of the story. Banana was at home, looking out the window and saw new neighbors moved in. Then I planned the middle of the story. I gave this story 2 events in the middle. I planned the 2 events and I wrote about the 2 events. Banana tried to make cookies, but he burns them. I wrote about that. Then the second event in the middle is that he decides to throw the ball over the fence, but no one was home but their mean dog named Bruno. So I wrote about that event, and I made sure that I use onomatopoeia so that the story begins to sound like a Jonathan London's book. Remember, we are using Jonathan London's ideas, and we're using the patterns that he's used, but we're not copying directly from his story. So next time when we have a writing lesson, I'll start working on the end of my story, and we'll talk more about that next time. Now remember, if you need paper, you need to go under the writing tab under Blackboard 24/7. Click on the writing tab and then find the folder that says writing paper and click on writing paper number 2. That way you'll have enough paper or enough space at the top to draw your picture when you finish writing. Now for mine, I needed at least 3 sheets of paper to write the middle of the story. You use what you can, and then be sure to draw your pictures. Make sure that you're actually writing your stories, because we will be sharing these next week with your class. All right, hi boys and girls. Now remember, the story that you're writing, your story plan and the paper can be found in your Google Classroom. I know in the last slide it said something about Blackboard, but never mind that. Go to your Google Classroom and find the My Story plan, and then you have all the paper that you need there. Happy writing, everyone!